What's up, guys, and welcome back to SCUM. Now, today's episode is going to be a little bit different, and I apologize if it ends up being a little bit shorter. I don't know if it will or not. But we have a quest. So I went back over here to this trader to dump all the loot and stuff that we'd gotten, and I picked up that M1 Iron Petal quest. So we got to go around to 4 different World War II bunkers, and I don't remember exactly what now. Let's see. Journal, I believe. That one. There we go. Gather intel on the cannons. I don't know exactly how you do that, but anyway. Um, Sounds like an interesting quest. I love the M1 rifle, so I really want to do this quest. But I didn't realize that the first one was right there, so I ended up coming out this way. I was going to continue back over to this direction, but we're heading up and around this way. I figured we'd stop for gas here, and I got us a new toy. Actually, you know what? Sorry, I'm very inefficient at these things. You guys know this. There we go. I got us, let's get into some better light here, the SVD Widowmaker. Now, I also put a ghillie wrap on it, but for those of you that have not seen the Widowmaker, it's a pretty cool looking variant. It's got, this kind of teeth necklace on it. It's got kind of some like leaf ghillie type stuff on the front. It's got a bipod. It's a pretty nice looking rifle. I really like it. And I have never used the SVD, so I want to kind of test it out. Oh, I also picked up a couple of those handy dandy new utility belts, and holy crap, I like these things. 10 slots, can hold 5 kilograms worth of weight, so I've got all of my magazines in here right now. That way it frees up our vest so that I can just remove it if need be without having to lose all of my ammunition. As far as the AK, I'm going to just run the one drum right now. And once we run out of ammo on that, then we'll switch to the pistol if need be. But, well, while I'm yakking, let's go ahead and test out this SVD. I've never played with it before. And right now I'm just running the spectral scope on it. I don't want to do a headshot. I want to see what it does to just center mass. Let's see, you should be 84. Okay. I'll be curious to see how the damage does at longer ranges. So that's something we're going to try to test here as well. I know that's not everybody. There was somebody wandering around up there before. Anywho. There's a few others. Biff. Ah, you did not go down in one. Wait, what the hell? Am I missing you? And we got high wind. What direction are we facing currently? We're facing northwest, so the wind should be kind of coming directly at us. There we go. There was another one down there I saw earlier. Not sure where they went. I would like to try this thing at longer range, though. There you are. It's pretty nice, I gotta say. That one was a miss. Nope, it wasn't. I got that one. Well, that was nice. I thought for sure I missed it. Okay, now the only thing I don't like with the SVD, yeah, you only get 10 rounds. But that's okay. Something I would like to... you're thirsty. I guess I need to try playing with the SCAR DMR a bit. Because the ideal weapon that I would like to have in the game is an M14 or an M1A, which is basically the equivalent of you combining the M1 with the SCAR DMR. So it's got the same looks as the M1, but with a 20-round detachable box magazine chambered in .308 like the SCAR DMR. That's what I would really like to see in SCUM. If they added that gun to SCUM, I would just use that one. I wouldn't use anything else. I would just run that. Oh, well, that's awkward. Well, I was gonna try to just deal with you with the pistol, but all this armor makes that a little awkward, doesn't it? Well, you guys are kind of ruining my fun here. Now, I don't know what all it entails in terms of when we get to the bunker. You know, it says gather intel. I don't know what that means exactly. So we're going to find out together. Those of you that already know, can feel free to tell me in the comments after I've already figured it out. And for the record, for this, since it's single player, and since this is a time-limited thing, and it's going to take us a long time to get up to those sections of the map if we continue to do our, you know, exploration of the map, I am just going to be teleporting us around for this one so that we can see what the quest entails, and you guys can see the reward for those of you that are curious about it but haven't gotten it yet. But there's not a lot of point in teleporting to this first one since it's, you know, right next to where we already were. So we're gonna just hit that one. Let's see, is it... yeah, it should be that, because it was take every right turn. I do really like that they mark it on your map where all of these are, and I don't know if that changes. You know, I don't know if these specific bunkers are randomized or if it's the same ones every time. Those of you that have done the quest, potentially multiple times, let me know in the comments. And I say multiple times because I've been reading reports on the Steam forums about this quest bugging out, and basically deleting your progress on the quest. So, like, you'll log out, you know, you'll complete the quest, you log out, and then there you are. And then when you log back in, your, you know, your variant for the M1 is gone, and it resets your progress on that quest. So, it's entirely possible that some of you may have done this quest multiple times. Can you get out of the car? There we go. Well, I gotta say, I like the SVD. Never used it before, but so far I'm liking it. And I'm really liking this new utility belt. That right there is what I've been wanting for a good while now. Something that has decent inventory space, that can take the place of, you know, an ammo carrier. Now, I realistically should have got more ammo for the SVD, I guess. Because here's the thing. Is that one? Yeah. You guys remember the last episode I mentioned how all of our ammo had despawned? Well, pretty much all of you that gave an opinion on that voted to just respawn the ammo back in. And that's what I was originally going to do. But I'm almost kind of leaning towards just saying nah and accept the loss. From the standpoint of this particular series is not really meant to be super combat oriented. It's meant to be more survival oriented. And as such, ooh, hell yeah, I'll take that. That's a box of ammo for the SVD right there. There's a pretty good look at the Widowmaker. But you know, not having grinding stone, not having a big stockpile of ammunition would give us a reason to stop and search places from time to time. And it would also give us a reason to loot, because we need ammo and we need stuff to sell so that we can buy more ammo potentially. Since we're not really settling down anywhere, there's not really a whole lot of point in trying to craft a bunch of ammo. Now, I'm assuming that we get down here and there will be some kind of interaction. It says gather intel. Yeah, that's actually a decent can of food there. I don't really want the compound bow. If we find... Yep, hey, there we go. If we find the new... Okay, well, that's simple enough. If we find the new takedown bow, then sure, I'll take that. How are we doing on food? We're doing okay on food. Kind of. Slightly off. The thing is, they're sealed, or they should be sealed. You know, we're going to go ahead and eat them just for the protein. Hopefully it doesn't make us throw up. No. And that's the thing with food that's slightly off, is so long as you can eat it faster than your food repulsion fills, you're good. Just a little tip for new players to the game. Oh, man, that ammo is absolute garbage condition. See, that ammo is fine, like 55%, 56%. That is still okay, you know. I would still use that. 15, 14%? That there is almost guaranteed to induce a jam. Same thing there. That's tracer ammo, but we have some... that's going to just make that tracer ammo worse. Now, in the bolt-action rifles, maybe it's not quite as much of an issue. I don't know. I'm going to equip these glasses because I think they look better as just kind of the casual glasses to wear, if you're just going with a hat and whatnot. If you're going with a helmet, I prefer the goggles. Particularly if we're wearing the face mask. Ooh, money. I like money. Speaking of money, we spent a considerable amount of our money. After I sold all of the loot that we got from doing the torpedo base, or the torpedo factory, we had like $60,000. And after buying this SVD and some ammo and magazines and stuff like that, utility belts, etc., we're back down to 18 grand. So, but I'm liking the SVD. Now, like I said, I'm going to teleport us around. I hope you guys don't mind for this thing, but like I said, this episode is about this quest. And even just driving, it would take us a good bit just to get up to all of these, because they have them spread out pretty good. So, for those of you that don't know or that are new to SCUM, in single player, or if you have admin privileges on a multiplayer server, you can teleport around the map by opening your chat box with T, and then typing hashtag map teleport. And on single player, you don't have to change anything else. On multiplayer, you need to hit tab. Oh, damn you. On multiplayer, you'll need to hit tab to go over to admin. But on single player, you don't have to. But you just hit enter, and then it allows you to teleport next time you open the map, which is quite handy. Now, I would recommend that you not teleport directly to your target zone. I would recommend you teleport slightly off of it, because a lot of times it'll drop you right in the middle of a bunch of puppets, or potentially into a floor, or something along those lines. So, we're going to do that, and all you do is click, and away we go. There we are. Perfect. Alrighty. My feet are soaking wet. Why? No one knows. Anybody here? Not that I can see from this very narrow spot. Now, you guys know I like the spectral scope on stuff. I know the SVD can come with its own scope, but I think that one only has like a 4 times magnification, if memory serves. Whereas the spectral has a 2 to 6 magnification, which is a lot more practical in my opinion. A 2x magnification is still useful for relatively close range, and of course you can always go to iron sights. But 6x is about all the magnification you need in SCUM in terms of how far away puppets will spawn in. Because, we've tested this, that they will spawn in, 500 to 600 meters away, potentially. Now, I don't know if you can potentially come across NPCs in these. It's oddly quiet here. That's my concern. Now, for close quarters, I am going to go into first person. Okay, well, I'm not seeing anybody, so that's good. I kind of wish there was a little bit more to this. I wish that maybe there was actually some intel in here as opposed to Oh, there we go. I learned something, apparently. You know, because the whole point of the quest is... Okay, here's the quest. The armorer guy finds me boring. If I learn more about World War II, we could have a decent conversation. I know he likes World War II. All gun nuts like World War II. The task, visit specific World War II bunkers and gather intel on those big cannons or whatever they are. The reward is special, a custom M1 Garand skin recipe that I got from a trade. So I wish that you actually learned about these. You know, I wish that there was, you know, something here that actually gave some background information on this stuff. You know, I just think that that would be a nice little addition to the game. But maybe that'll come at a later date. Who knows? Ooh, those are actually not in bad condition. I don't know if those sell at all, and I don't need more boots, so we're not going to take them right now. I still have those new cowboy boots that we found. I need to test those out. I've been thinking, for a future series or season... Man, that's really crappy. Well, I mean, if you use the double barrel, I guess it doesn't matter. I was thinking, for a future season, or series, or whatever, you guys know that I don't particularly like using the traders. And so I was debating about doing a series in the future where we don't really use the traders much at all. We run whatever we can find ammo for or what we can craft ammo for. And so we would be doing a lot more crafting ammunition. What would you guys think of a series like that? Where, yeah, we do still do some looting, and we'll still potentially use the traders, but most of what we loot is going to be stuff that we will actually use, as opposed to find a whole bunch of stuff. You know, I wonder if that's still a good enough one that I can use that for a water collector. But it's going to be stuff that we can use as opposed to stuff to sell. But that would mean that we would probably be running a bow, preferably the takedown bow, a pistol of some kind, and a shotgun primarily. If we wanted to run a rifle, we would have to either find or craft the ammunition. So let me know what you guys think of something like that. And if we do a season like that, let me know if you guys have any good ideas for a base location. Because at this point, I'm trying to decide how much longer I want to continue with this particular series. I'm enjoying the series, the exploration series, but we're not even 20% of the way through. You know, we've done these 4 sectors here. We still have Z0, which is potentially going to be multiple videos. You know, if we explore the bunker there, you know, etc., etc. You know, there's a whole lot of places that are going to be, you know, each sector is probably going to be 2 episodes, potentially. And then we still have all the islands and whatnot. So the point is, there's still quite a bit of exploration to do. And I don't know how much you guys are enjoying that. I know some of you guys are enjoying it, but I also know that a lot of you would probably like to just get back to a regular old SCUM series. So, let me know what you guys think on that. What am I trying to do here? There we go. Okay, before we do that one, I should probably go back to the truck and get a jacket or something, huh? So let's go ahead and do this one. Well, and you can see the big glowy cannon right there already. I almost wish it didn't do that either. You know, I'm fine with it having like the exclamation point to kind of show you where the thing is, but I don't know. How do you do against armored puppets? I don't know if I don't hit them. Oh, there we go. One solid hit works well, it looks like. Or maybe not. Come on, buddy. Where'd you go? He doesn't know where he went. There he is. Well, I was kind of hoping they would do, you know, this rifle would do better against the armored puppets. That said, you know, that's the whole point of them wearing armor, is to be, you know, bullet resistant. So, I need to do another test as far as seeing whether or not armor-piercing ammunition actually works as armor-piercing ammunition. Because it didn't for a while. In fact, our tests that we'd showed before over on the multiplayer server showed that armor-piercing ammunition was actually the least effective ammunition at actually penetrating armor. So, that was interesting. If you guys haven't seen that episode, go check it out. It was a live stream that we did. I'd say this is slightly disappointing. Just with the not actually gathering intel, you just say, yep, it's a cannon. And that's about it. That's all that the gather intel amounts to. So that's a little disappointing, I gotta say. I was really hoping for a little bit of lore or something. But it is what it is, right? Like I said, they haven't really fleshed out the quests yet. They kind of implemented them as a test to see how just kind of missions would go for actually doing a storyline in SCUM. But they never really polished it or worked out all of the finer details. They just kind of threw in some stuff as a placeholder or as a test to see, okay, this is how the system is going to work. We'll hammer out the fine details in the future. And that's fine. I mean, you know, that's how you needed to start implementing. Hi. Damn it, it would really help if I would actually hit what I'm aiming at, huh? Uh-oh. I'm probably running pretty low on ammo. I got 3 bullets left. Well, there we go. I know I should have switched to the AK, but I want to save the AK ammo for NPCs. If possible, anyway. Damn it, what the hell? What? My aim shifted slightly for whatever reason. There, you see, it's bugging out a little bit. I'm not sure what the hell's going on there. Is a disconnect between my mouse or what? But you guys saw that a couple of times. My aim just kind of slightly jerked. You know, zoomed in and all of a sudden goes, eh. You know, just kind of oof slightly. I don't know. Anywho. I do hope that they add more to the quests in the future. I don't know if they're still actually going to implement anything with the... Oh, hey, I'll take that. I'll take another raincoat, sure. I don't know if they're still planning to actually implement the lore of SCUM or not. For those of you that are new to SCUM and don't know the lore... I don't know all of the lore by a wide margin, but I do know a bit of it. And the lore is basically that Tech 1 is this gigantic corporation that basically runs the world. Maybe not quite that, but pretty darn close. They're basically like the Umbrella Corporation from the Resident Evil franchise. You know, they kind of have their fingers in everything, and they own essentially a big chunk of the world in terms of control. And all of the prisoners on this island... You know what? We could probably use a drink right now. It's toasty out here. All of the prisoners on this island are basically people that have stood up to Tech 1 that Tech 1 more or less wants to silence. And so we're all put on this island to basically be a prison, but also to be a form of entertainment. You know, the little drones that you guys see flying around all the time, which you don't really see in this series because I think I have them turned off just because they're irritating. But this whole island is monitored by cameras and it's broadcast as a TV show. Now, ideally, the story, at least from what we know, is supposed to be... Let's see, we need to go back to the truck, don't we? Is supposed to be that on the island, a sort of resistance is forming. And according to the devs, at least in the past... you would potentially be able to either join the Resistance or potentially join Tech 1. And if you join Tech 1, you get, you know, better equipment, etc., etc. I don't know if the Tech 1 personnel and the sentries would then not try to kill you, or what the situation would be there, but... But if you're part of the Resistance, then obviously, you know, everything is basically the same as it is currently in the game. Now, the whole idea is to eventually get off the island. That's what the planes are for. You know, from what I understand, the planes are meant to be kind of an end game thing where after you remove your BCU chip, because that would be part of it as well, you can then use the planes to escape the island, and that would be the end of the game. Now, currently they have not implemented any of that stuff at all. They have the base game down with all of the, you know, they're working on flushing out the survival mechanics and all of that stuff, etc., etc. You know, they're trying to get the base game set. so that the the world is already built, and then all they have to do is add in the story. I don't know if they're still actually planning to do that or not, though. So we shall see. I had another backpack with a pilot jacket in it. I would rather have that than the camo jacket. But I don't know which thing that's in. Probably none of these. Yep. But I prefer the pilot jacket. I don't know why. I do. I like it. Let me guess. It was in one of these, or just loose in here somewhere. This one's empty now. We finally have an empty backpack. Yay! I think, actually, it was that one, because that is our backpack from, oh, when we were doing stuff and things. Ooh, hey, we got a better scarf in that one. Yeah, I know you're getting toasty. Well, you'll be fine. There we go. See, now you're not overheating anymore, are you? Where is this? Maybe you are still overheating. Is that it? I think that's it. That looks like... Yep, that looks to be a bunker. But, like I say, I don't know if they're still planning to implement that kind of story. They've got a long way to go if they are. I think right now they're not even remotely focused on that. They're trying to focus on making the base survival game into as good as it possibly can be. And I know we give the devs a lot of crap. And to be fair, a lot of it is deserved. You know, they have overpromised on a lot of things and underdelivered. But they are trying. And so I do really appreciate that. And I will criticize the game where it deserves criticism, but I also will try to give the devs the benefit of the doubt and be understanding as to why they do certain things the way they do. But I would like to see the devs listen to the players a little bit more. Just in terms of the things that players want in the game. So now we return. Wait, return to the B4 general. Why? That's not the one that I was at. I got it from Z2. All right then. Well. Oh, hey, it's raining. Yep, your feet are wet. I'm aware. You'll be fine. Now, one thing I would really like to see with SCUM, and they've kind of started on it, is I would really like to see. I didn't even look to see if I was going in the correct direction. I am. I would like to see mod support come to the game. Because there's a whole lot of stuff that I would love to see added to the game that the devs will almost certainly never add to the game because it's not a priority. You know, they have a vision for the game, and that vision is a bit different than what a lot of the players, including myself, would like to see, at least in Why am I here? You're not the one I need to talk to. What the hell? I don't know what you just said there at the end. I need general goods. I walked right past you because I'm a big old stupid.
Welcome. Feel free to browse around.
Well, I don't even have to do anything with it? Haha, I don't even have to do anything with it. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Well, I guess on that note, I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't have anything for you. On that note, I'm gonna go back to the armor and I'm gonna get some ammo for that because I like the M1 a lot.
What's up? If you're trying to
I
rob a
would.
place, I guarantee you, I'm well armed.
Uh huh. I would really like to have an M14 or an M1A in SCUM. You know what? I don't actually like using the clips a whole lot, and I think we already have 2, so that'll be plenty.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah. Let's do that. That way we'll have 3. We can have 1 in the gun and 2 spares, and then just have loose ammo. Thank you. Mine. Now, let's get back to the truck. Ah, you can actually see the bunker right there on the map. Fantastic. Ka-chow. Oh, and it's still raining. And there's a chicken. Splendid. Where's my truck? Now, I have an M1. Is it just loose in here? Yes, it is. Ha 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 ha. Do that. And then I think we need a toolbox, don't we? Do we have a loose toolbox there? No, of course not. I don't remember which thing the toolboxes are in. I don't think it's that, no. Damn it. I know I have toolboxes in here. Where the hell are the toolboxes? Damn it. Huh. Well, I know I have a toolbox in here. I'd rather not use that one, but that's okay. So, boom. But yeah, I would really love to have an M14 or an M1A. It would basically be a combination of the M1 and the SCAR DMR. Yeah, I know you're toasty. Here, take the jacket off. Take that hat off. There you go. Now you're not toasty anymore. Let's get inside this bunker, maybe, and take a look at this. Wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. Where did you go, rifle? There you are. Do that, please. Thank you. I can I get up into there? I really like the rain in Scum. There we go. Okay, now you probably can't see it real well, can you? You still can't see it real well. Or we just drop it on the ground. There we go. Look at that engraving. That is beautiful. It really is. I like it quite a bit. Because I like the M1, but it is a little bit plain. And so that's really, really nice. I like it a lot. I need to make a short scope rail, or whichever one it is that goes on these, so that I can then mount an optic. Because the iron sights I'm not crazy about. And the scope for the M1 I'm not crazy about either. It's offset to the left, and I hate it. It bugs the crap out of me. So I tend not to use that. But, anywho. I think that will probably do it for this episode. I said, sorry, this was not really our usual episode. This was, excuse me. This was just more to kind of show you guys that new quest. For those of you that haven't done it, to see what it's like, to see if it's anything you'd be interested in doing. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, let me know if you guys have any suggestions for what we can do in like the next season of Scum. As far as, you know, if you like that idea of basically not using the traders, so we would be more reliant on things that we can find ammo for or have to craft ammo. For that one, we will be building a base. So, if you guys have any interesting suggestions for base locations, let me know. As you know, if you've been with the channel for a while, I love the lake house right here. It's already just about perfect. But I've done that one quite a bit. I also really, really, really liked having a base up here in D2. There's a little lake just outside this town here. And I built a nice cabin next to that lake. And that was, honestly, I think my favorite base that I've ever done. So, I really liked that. It was serene up there. You're up there in the mountains. It felt isolated. But you're not too far from the city. You're not far from the lumber yard. You're not far from this trader. You know, you've got the D4 airfield. And what we could do is, you know, build a base in kind of an area. And we hit all the stuff in that area. And then potentially move to a different area. You know, say we did move down here. And then, you know, we explore everything in this area. You know, move again, etc., etc. So that's an option. But, anywho, that's for the future. But, again, let me know if you guys want me to continue this exploration series. I know this one wasn't really part of the exploration series, but, let me know if you guys want me to continue doing the exploration series. Or if you want me to get back into kind of a more normal Scum season. Like I said, I do still really enjoy doing the explorations. I love doing that kind of stuff. But I also want you guys to enjoy the videos. So, we may kind of do a little bit of both. You know, to where, like I said, we pick a base location, actually have a base there, and then we explore the surrounding area. And a lot of that exploration could be the same as what we're doing now, where we hit the more lesser-known areas, but we just have a base of operations that we can store loot at, can craft things, can do all of that stuff. And yeah, we would hit POIs and whatnot too, because that's part of exploration. But, anywho, let me know what you guys want to see. And with all that being said, man, I love the rain in SCUM so much. Just this right here, this is something else I love. I would just sit here for as long as the storm lasts and just enjoy the rain. You know, because I love this. I really, really do. Also, let me know what you guys think of using one of these as a base at some point. They would make for an interesting base. I've seen people do it. You know, you wouldn't really have to do too much to it. But, anywho. I guess with all that being said, I will go ahead and plug all of the links in the description. But before I do that, if you guys are enjoying the video, I would greatly appreciate you hitting that like button. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It would really help the channel grow. We're getting really close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm really, really anxious about getting there. So, anyway, if there's anything you guys can do to help us get to that mark, I would greatly appreciate it. But, I'm going to go ahead and plug all of the links in the description. So, we've got St. Jude Children's Hospital and Wounded Warrior Project. So if you'd like to support either of those wonderful charities, please go check out those links. And then we have... I want to sit down here. We have the Discord server for the Wolfpack multiplayer SCUM server, and that's where I do all of my live streams on. It's a nice chill PvE server where the settings are basically the same as what I've got here in single player, other than we do have hordes turned on. But other than that, they're pretty much the same as what I've got. So if you like the stuff that you see here on my channel, you'd probably like that server. There's no sentries, no drop ships. There are NPCs. And we have the building restrictions turned off, so you can pretty well build wherever you want to within the confines of the game. And so, yeah, if that sounds like an interesting server to you, go check out the Discord link. Make sure to read the server rules page. That'll give you the rules and the settings for the server. And if it sounds like something you're interested in, contact myself, Necros, or Cornbread through Discord. We are the admins for the server, and we can get you set up with the password. And then we have my wife's YouTube channel, where she does a variety of videos, including ambient rain videos, which I would love to honestly make an ambient rain video of SCUM. I really would. I would watch the hell out of that. Actually, let me know if you guys want me to do that. If you guys would like to see a video that's just this. You know, I could put it on like an hour loop or something like that. You know, if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. But anyway, so my wife does ambient rain videos. She does little comedy videos. She posts paranormal videos where she posts informational videos on various paranormal locations, as well as evidence that we have captured on some of our paranormal investigations, because we are amateur paranormal investigators. And then we do family live streams over there. Oh, that lightning was beautiful. Sorry. We do family live streams over on her channel where we play games like Phasmophobia and Ghost Exile. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, go check out her channel. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one.